It's time for us to head into the footy component of the Friday night sports show repeated Saturday morning, the Ouyen United Kangas report. He did such a good job of the radio last week, is the coach, Scott Grigg. He's back with us again. We've not brought that tractor fella from Underbull back out, so how are you there, Scott?
Yeah, going well, Flowman, yourself?
Real good, although you might say you were out coached last week, Coach, in that third quarter. They nailed you, Wentworth. You were even at half time, and they came out and kicked 6 goals to nothing in the third, and that was a tremendous quarter of football, and the cauldron at Underbull went very quiet.
It did, and they were very good in the third quarter. There was a scoring end, and they had it, but it wasn't the reason why they were able to kick 6 goals to 0. We just didn't hit the targets as far as our starting positions on the ground. We didn't reward ourselves with our work rate either. The boys are working hard, and we are producing some of the things that we're trying to put in place on the track on game day, which allowed us to be in a 1-point game at half time. But just in that third quarter, some of our defensive starting positions let us down.
And the two aces for them got on top, Jared Brander with 5, Wade Hancock with 4, and Rory Hooper got some drive, and it was over. Carl Barker, Corey Gregson, Reed Stevens and Dale Wilsmore, and the two Jamals, one Jamal and one Jamal. So we've got the two, one Stretch and one Daly, up there in the better players. I'm going to go to the other matches. Quick comment. Irimple 8-17, Mildura 7-8.
Yeah, I mean, that game there was a very close tussle. I spoke to a few of the boys from Irimple and said it was very similar to the week before against us. That's why Irimple finished up on the top there. They're able to win those close games.
They are. And Robinvale won comfortably 18-17 to Redcliffe's 9-8. They are really looking good, these red and whiters.
Yeah, Robinvale are always hard to beat at Robinvale, and Redcliffe are probably going to finish in the bottom half, so I expected that.
Yes, South, 8-10-58, Imperials 6-8-44. Is there a little bit going on down there at Mildura Sporting Precinct?
Yeah, they've been working really hard off the ground over the pre-season on their fitness and ability to play 4 quarters. And I think in the results earlier on in the first 2 rounds, they've let themselves down with a quarter or so, and looks like they were able to play 4 quarters and got their first win for some time. Now,
the reserve grade between you blokes and Wentworth was an absolute ripper from the Ouyen United Kangas, 7-2-44. Wentworth 5-9-39. There's some depth in this side, some good players. This James Phillips, very good. Big Dave Jeffries did the job, and you'd be very pleased with the depth and the Bradley Parsons booting 4.
Yeah, those boys, it was a real deserved win. They've been working away and trying their hardest, and just on Saturday, it wasn't about who did what, it was about what they did, and they did the right thing at the right time of the game and were able to hit the front late in the game and hold on.
Great stuff from Ryan Andrews too for Wentworth, and Jack Stockman got on the best players list for them. Let's head to your under-14s. I love the fact that this game was really, really competitive. The scores actually were passed through to us, and the good part about this is they were right with Wentworth in this game till 3-quarter time. Wentworth kicked 4 goals in the last quarter to win 9-3-57 to 5-4-34, but the under-14 boys were by no means disgraced against a very good side.
No, they've got a good little group there that are extremely competitive. They were in front at some stages there throughout the first and second quarter, but in the end, Wentworth were able to kick those goals in the last quarter that made them worthy winners.
They were Cooper McDowell with 3 from them, and Ashwell Moore and Hamish Pitt a couple apiece. 1 each to Bond, Copeman, Floyd and Scott, and best players Finn Brown, Kyle O'Brien and Bodie Hastings, and Asher Briganti and Jed Cameron named for Wentworth on that game. Now, here's something for us this week. Let's go to some under-12s, because we did get some results here for this, and it was a good win. Wentworth 11-6-72 to Ouyen United 2-1-13. But great to see the kids running around early, and this is terrific that the under-12s have got a good side on the board here for the Ouyen United Kangas.
Yeah, it was. It was good to see the under-10s and 12s playing side by side on the main ground together, and just brought the community more involved and the parents more involved, and it was a bit of a highlight, to be honest.
It's great stuff, isn't it? William Morrison, Nate Singleton and Neil Shine did well for the home side. Ryder Collins and Oliver Pitt and Eli Morrison for the visitors from Wentworth in that 12s match. And I'll just give you the under-10 ones for the parents too, and the little ones to hear their name on the radio. And it was no score given in the under-10s. They play for fun. But Liam Hamilton, Gary Kelly and Archie Price were the best for Ouyen, and Anthony Kinney, Laken Briganti and Hunter Alderton did well for Wentworth. Let's get now to what is going to be a massive week for you blokes. You go with what is probably one of the most important games that Ouyen United Kangas have played in their history in the Sunraysia. You come up in round 4 against a really, really important game against Mildura. This one, Mildura, you said to me only last week, here, Scott, the coach of the team, that this Mildura mob are very, very good and have improved a heap. It's a real must-win for Ouyen United, but Mildura have got a good side.
Oh, they have got a good side, and they're well coached. Like I said last week, Sam, you can see Sam's put a lot of defensive traits into the group, and in the end, defensive traits is something that helps you win close games. So it's definitely going to be a tight game. In every game that we've played, we've done things really well. We just need to continue to build on that, and it's easy to pick out. I don't like using the word negative, but people from far and wide can pick out negatives, but we're really going to focus on the positives and the things that we've been doing really well to make sure we do more of it, which will allow us to kick more goals and hopefully be in front when the siren goes. Any
important ins for you blokes after last week's game?
Oh, it'll just depend this week on the training track and tonight to see if we can get a few guys across the line, but nothing of certain yet.
All right. Let's have a look at the twos. The boys from Mildura haven't won yet. You guys have got that impressive win last week. You're 7th and 8th on the ladder. Means that you blokes come in favourites in the twos.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's always hard to travel, but there is a few more boys putting their hands up to play their first game for the year, which is encouraging, and it increases the numbers across the board, and hopefully they get another win as well.
Great for the kids to be playing also as they head up to Mildura in the 14s, the 12s and the 10s. Other senior matches of football, let's have a look at them, and I'll get your tip for these games. It's going to be a ripping round of football in Sunraysia in round 4. Wentworth play Redcliffs, George Gordon Oval. It's a bit of it's a hard place to go and visit and win, and I think Wentworth will defend it very well.
Yeah, I think Wentworth win easily there.
Merbeen take on South at Kenny Park.
I'll go with Merbeen at home. Once again, they've had a really strong pre-season. I think they're very, very fit, and I'll go for them at home.
Now, this is the one, though, at Henshawood. Top of the table, Staffo. Rimple play Robinvale. This is going to go right down to the wall. Why? And Robinvale need to be tested, and I think Rimple will certainly test them, the premiers from last year.
Yeah, Rimple will definitely give Robinvale a test. Rimple are very hard to beat at home. Their top-end talent is very good, and they get a lot out of their developing players. So I'd say Rimple comfortably.
All right, have you heard anything when you were down at Underbull from that fella from out there? Oh, down at Boinka, I reckon he's somewhere down that way. Linger or somewhere. He must be stuck on the tractor still, that Wilsmore fellow.
He is still stuck on the tractor. I was on the phone to him not long ago, and they're still seeding out there. So once he gets his chores done out there, he'll be back in having a beer around the fire at Ouyen.
And on the radio too, bringing us up to date. But great Scotty Grigg stepping into the breach, the coach of the Ouyen United Kangas. I think a really crucial game. A loss this week makes it very hard. You started poorly last year, as I remember, in the same way at the start of the season. You made your way home with a wet sail and got into the prelim. They've really got to start with a win this weekend.
No, definitely, mate. That's our focus. We'll be out there to try and do everything we can to make sure we get our first win on the board. And after that, we have played Rimple, we have played Wentworth. There's more winnable games for us, especially in the last 4 or 5 games before we turn the halfway mark. So let's focus on this week, do what we need to do to hopefully beat Mildura at their home deck and go forward from there.
Great stuff. Scotty Grigg talking the Ouyen United Kangas report here on The Flow. You have a great weekend.
Thanks, Flowman.